This man, in order to drink some water, actually shoved a water pipe straight into his mouth. When the two police officers arrived, they tried to remove the pipe, but as they walked in, they realized the man might have inserted the pipe directly into his colon. Eventually, the police officers pulled out the 5-meter-long pipe, and the man before them was actually an alien. He lived on a planet at the edge of the Milky Way. On this water-scarce planet, they could only rely on a device like the one in front of them to artificially create rain. But one day, the device malfunctioned, and Andy had to cross several light years to reach Earth. He eventually landed in a corner of the world. To quickly complete his mission, Andy donned a new skin, disguising himself as a human. Water was a vital element for their survival, so Andy could sense the location of water. When he saw a leaking water pipe, he grabbed the pipe, desperately replenishing his body's water supply. This scene was witnessed by a man inside the house. He immediately chose to call the police. 2 police officers arrived shortly after. Afterward, they questioned Andy, but the newly arrived alien had not yet learned the human language and could only repeat the officers' questions over and over. This angered the 2 officers, and they used a stun gun to take Andy down to the ground. They then took him back to the police station. When Andy was awakened again, he was dressed in a prison outfit. Looking around at everything, Andy quickly absorbed human knowledge. He quickly mastered a foreign language. A snap of his fingers brought him back to reality. The first thing Andy did after regaining his senses was to ask the female officer for a bottle of water. But when questioned by the officer, he just kept repeating a set of coordinates. Considering the reason he was arrested and his current nonsensical ramblings, the female officer thought Andy was a madman. So after taking down his details, she let him go. As Andy was leaving, he swiped a mobile phone. Using the information he found on the phone, he walked up to the front of a pawn shop, then opened his mouth wide to the sky. A gold ring suddenly popped out of his mouth, and then dozens of gold rings scattered on the ground. Andy walked into the pawn shop and exchanged the rings for a large sum of money. He walked down the street using a homemade radio device, trying to pick up a signal from his home planet. At that moment, Andy, who was scattering money everywhere, caught the attention of 2 thugs. They started to rob Andy of the money on him. Luckily, a passerby came to his rescue and took Andy to the coordinates he had been muttering about. Once they reached the place, Andy walked alone toward a desolate area. Dark clouds had gathered in the sky, and a giant tornado was beginning to form, and Andy seemed to be guided by something, walking toward the center of the storm. After reaching the designated spot, Andy closed his eyes. At that moment, all the sounds around him vanished. When he opened his eyes again, Andy seemed to have entered another world. In the distance, a strange old man slowly approached him.